Contact and non-contact forces. What is a force? Well, a force is a push or a pull experienced by an object when it interacts with another object. For example, pushing a shopping cart. The only way for the trolley to move is if you push it, or in other words, exert a force on it. We can't see force, however we can see its result. When a force is exerted on an object, it can change the object's direction, speed, or shape. Forces are measured in newtons, written as a capital N. This was discovered by, you guessed it, Sir Isaac Newton. Forces are also vector quantities since they have both magnitude and can move in a direction. Forces can be split into two categories, contact and non-contact forces. Contact forces are when two objects need to be touching for the force to arise. The list of forces here are all contact forces. For example, let's take reaction force. In this diagram, you can see a table with an apple on top of it. What does this mean? Well, the apple is exerting a force on top of the table due to the gravity pushing it down. At the same time, the table pushing the same amount of force back. This is Newton's third law of motion, as every action has an equal or opposite reaction. So if the apple pushed a force of 2 newtons onto the table would push exactly 2 newtons back. The apple and the table must be touching for the force to arise, so reaction force is a contact force. Another example of a contact force is friction. Here we see a ball rolling across a carpet. The ball would slow down because of friction acting upon it. The ball and the carpet are touching, which makes this a contact force. Another example is air resistance. The wind making the kite blow about. Both are touching, which means this is a contact force. However, these are not the only contact forces. There's also buoyancy and thrust. Now let's talk about non-contact forces. Non-contact forces are when two objects do not need to be touching for the force to arise. For example, an apple falling down a tree. The force applied here is gravity, but it isn't touching the apple. Gravity is pushing the apple down, which is what causes the apple to fall. Nothing touching the apple has made the apple fall, so gravity is a non-contact force. Another example of a non-contact force is an electrostatic force. For example, if you rub a balloon on your head, electrons, which are negatively charged particles, move from your hair to the balloon. Because of this, the balloon is now negatively charged, leaving your hair with a positive charge. Because of the different charges, your hair and the balloon are attracted towards each other. Just like the charges, the magnets show attraction and repulsion. Like poles repel and different poles attract. These are the same types of forces that are in non-contact forces. Why do objects float and sink? First, let's talk about density. Density is the measure of mass per unit of volume. Density is mass divided by volume. For example, the water is 1 gram per centimeter cubed. Well, right now we are going to do a small, easy experiment. We have two marbles here, a black and a yellow marble. The black marble's density is 0.87 grams per centimeter cubed. The yellow marble's density is 1.12 grams per centimeter cubed. Now we have a small bowl of water. First, we're going to drop the yellow marble into the bowl. Will it float or sink? It sank, but why? It's because the density of the yellow marble is greater than the density of water, which means the yellow marble is too heavy to float. Now that we know this, will the black marble float or sink? Well, it will float since its density is less than the density of water. But just to check, you can try it out. Thank you for watching.